Perfect.
Sorry.
Are you guys want to get started?
Yeah.
Good. All right, welcome to Beer Club, Beer Week, New York City Beer Week.
Woo!
Yeah, that's right.
More beer.
Exciting. I'm fucking tired. And lots of stuff going on this week that's already happened. After tonight, you know, there's this. You're here. Thank you for coming. Tomorrow at the brewery we have our release of Swamp Teens, our style IPA. It's hazy. It's not pretty. It tastes pretty good. Yeah. So Nick has been coming out every night. So kudos to him. He's got one hell of a liver. That kid. And so thanks for coming for another month. We're gonna get started. Are these games? Are you sure you don't want to make? No? Okay. All right, everybody. Paradox Brewery Company. I haven't had them yet. They're from upstate New York, the Adirondacks, which is one of my favorite areas in New York State. And all of New York, upstate New York is fucking awesome. And I'm so happy to have them down here. And he's going to give you their story and tell you all about the beers. So, everybody, give David a round of applause. Woo-hoo.
Show of hands, who's been up in the Adirondacks? Excellent. So, if you go up to Lake George, another half hour north, you're running to Spruan Lake. So we're right up on 87. We have about an 1,800 square foot brewery right now. We're building a 25,000 square foot brewery, which will be completed at the end of April. So we're going to be part of Mario Cuomo's Welcome to the Adirondacks, Taste New York. I'm really looking forward to it. We're actually abutting to a brand new campground for those of you guys who camp up that way. 139 sites, which will be connected to our property. It's opening before Memorial Day. There's also 35 RV hookups. There's horse trails, right now snowmobile trails. So it's really exciting. So what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's going on, how the brewery got going and where we're at right now, and a little bit about the beers that we have on. First thing I'll let you know is I've been selling beer since 1990. I started with Genesee and Rochester.
Some of you might not have been born.
Unfortunately. So,
or 40.
But it's been a love of mine forever. You know, and I'm really lucky. I've got to work for Genesee and Sierra Nevada and Labatt. So now I'm with Paradox. And Paradox was started by an Army pilot who was, him and his buddies were doing a lot of home brew. And he came up with what is now called the Beaver Bite IPA, and all his friends liked it. So he started giving away his Christmas presents and birthday gifts, and then he started giving away growlers of it and growing a little bit in size, and decided that about 4 years ago, he's going to lease a building and start a little 10-barrel brewery. Well, that 10-barrel is now turned into a 33-barrel, and we're making as much beer as we can sell. So it's kind of fun right now in a way, but it also sucks. We ran out of Pilsner in July. We ran out of something else in September. Because we're small, at least now, it's tough to meet demand. That's all going to change at the end of April. So we're going to be 6.5 times the size we are right now. And I cannot wait. So,
When did you start?
4 years ago. Wow. So 4 years ago, Paul was brewing. We've got one brewer who's a chemist, we've got another brewer who was a home brewer, and between the two of them, they are very particular about what leaves the brewery. So when we ran out of Pilsner, they threw a batch away. And our owner was not thrilled with that, but it didn't meet their standards, so they chucked it. So that's what we're trying to do. We want to have really high quality product. We want to make sure we have the right sales force, and we want to make sure everyone enjoys their experience. So like Flagship, we support all the small brewers. I mean, if somebody needs to borrow a grain, if somebody needs to borrow a tank, everyone works together up there, and it's a lot of fun. So, the most important thing is quality beer at a reasonable price, and just do the best we can. And so far, it's worked great. The beers we have tonight, so the first one's Paradox Pilsner. That is our European Pils. It says 4.5 up there, it's actually 5.5. So it's 5.5% ABV. Very drinkable. They call it a Czech Pils. It might remind someone of a Pilsner Urquell. It might remind somebody a little bit of a Warsteiner or even a Stella. But that's the crisp style we're looking at. The second one up here is the Beaver Bite. The Beaver Bite was Paul's original IPA. So it's a New England or Northeastern IPA. It's hazy. It's juicy. It's, you know, if you've had Sloop or you've had some of these others that they call pretty much everyday all day IPAs, that's kind of along those lines. 3 hops, it's double dry hopped, so it's 6%. And then
Can you make a beer nowadays in double dry hop?
We have pale ale.
Oh, okay.
Pale ale, we do not dry hop pale ale. Pale ale is it's very simple. It's 3 hops. And we made it for SPAC. Has anybody ever been to Saratoga Performing Arts Center? So we have a lot of concerts. It's Jones Beach on a little different scale. We have, Dave Matthews comes up there and fish, and we have a lot of country acts. So it's about 25,000 people. They wanted a beer. They didn't want their consumers to get hammered on it, so it's only 5%. And they started doing 10 or 12 picks per show, and it blew us away. So now Paradox Pilsner, Pale Ale rather, is one of our regular beers.
So you made that? You made it initially for them?
We made it for them. We used to call it Underbite in the past. Now we just call it Pale Ale.
Do you have it in the tap room as well, or did you just for the?
Only in the tap room is Underbite, and it was one of those things that was brought out just because we didn't have a Bud Miller Coors, we didn't have a Light, we didn't have an Ultra. So if anyone came in and they said, oh, these beers are all too strong for me, we had the Underbite, which has turned into a Pale Ale. So it's 5%, very drinkable, sessionable, whatever you want to call it, crushable, but really, really drinkable. Then we have an Overbite, which is our first double IPA. That's not here tonight, and even in the Southern Hemisphere. Overbite's 8%, Southern Hemisphere is between 8.2 and 8.4. Overbite is a really nice double IPA. It doesn't have that alcohol finish, but my favorite beer is the Southern Hemisphere, and we usually just do it in cans. So our distributors down here have it in cans. It's a real bright yellow and orange can. It does very, very well, and it's 100% Nelson hops, so the hops are all from New Zealand. Very expensive to get, sometimes really tough to get. We have a 6-month contract, but we're just kind of hoping every 6 months to get another 6 months.
Thank you.
Real easy drinking beer. It's probably the highest content we have as far as alcohol content, except for our Imperial Stout, and it's by far the most expensive beer for us to do.
Wow.
So then the next one we have here tonight is our Black Fly Porter. That came out a couple of years ago, what we call our off-trail series. So up north, there's trails everywhere. People are walking on trails. If you look at the glass in front of you, that's actually an Adirondack trail marker. So our little logo. So the Black Fly Porter, if you've ever been to the Adirondacks in the spring, black flies are horrendous. And they bite you in there.
Yes, nasty.
It doesn't matter what you do. You can put it on, you can do whatever you want. They're going to find you. So the Black Fly Porter is obviously named after them. And it's 5%, very, very drinkable. It's a little malty, a little chocolatey, kind of you expect the porter to be. We just call it ABC Porter because it's really basic, but it's really good. A lot of people enjoy it. So that's back. Started as the Off-Trail series, which we come out once a month with a different item that's kind of seasonal. And then we had enough response to it, we actually made it a full-time seasonal beer for us in the fall. And so
I think everybody has the Pilsner.
So Pilsner's in front of you then? So give it a try. Again, it's very easy to drink. It's locally it's Serene. So Kevin's here from Serene, and they do a phenomenal job. I got to know Matt a little bit last year. I started a year and a half ago, and he was one of my first phone calls, and he couldn't have been nicer than me. So they do a really nice job for us. They've also opened up Northern New Jersey, and they've opened up Philadelphia for us.
Put it somewhere where
How much the Serene get stuff?
Well, right now they get like a pallet and a half of assorted cans of the specialty stuff, whether it's Overbite or Southern Hemisphere, and they usually get a pallet of the Beaver Bite in the cans. And then peg-wise, we've been able to get them what they need, whether it's halves of Pilsner or halves of Beaver Bite. Once we got past the Pilsner we threw out, we've been able to come back. And Pale Ale, we're doing more Pale Ale now. They actually had a real nice hit with Pale Ale. They had about 7 or 8 accounts, Westchester and North, that brought in Pale Ale, ran us out. And so now it's become a standard brew. And again, we can only do about 20 a month, so Pale Ale has to be one of them because we've got enough support.
I know you're about to expand, Dave, but do you have any of your stock, like in local package stores, like any warehouse?
We do.
Are you
so-
local that we can get cans?
Yeah, you can get, currently right now, you can get the Pilsner at both Holiday Beverage and Beverage Islands. On Saturday, you'll be able to get the Pilsner, Beaver Bite, and Southern Hemisphere.
All right. Can we get those addresses?
Can I what?
The addresses and the phone numbers. So
The address, I don't know the direct phone numbers,
Where are they?
Well, if you ever, Beverage Island is on Richmond Terrace, right by the water treatment plant.
Yeah, and then All Day Beverage is over by Richmond Republic.
And Boy.
And boy.
Got it. All right.
So both of those package stores currently have Pilsner in stock.
Right past the
And then after Saturday, they're going to have both Beaver Bite, which we're going to be trying later, and the Southern Hemisphere.
All right. That's the key. Getting the cans and trying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who uses Untapped? Does anybody rate beer, ratebeer.com or any of that stuff? Okay.
I did not know there was an app for that.
It's one of those things there.
I had the one app, it never worked, so I didn't know there was a different one.
There's several out there. Unfortunately, Anheuser-Busch owns 2 of them. So, and I'm not even kidding. They bought them out. So, Untapped is still independent, but what happens with Untapped, Kevin, you guys can go in there and put a description in for our beer, and I can't control it. If you say it tastes like darkness, there's nothing I can do, whether you're a competitor or not. So I kind of watch out for those websites. Now our website itself, ParadoxBrewery.com, is in the process of being updated. We use a company up in Clifton Park called Black Dog. Because there's literally 7 employees, everyone took a turn doing something or other. So if you look at some of our beers on our website, they're from 2016. If you look at our events, they're from 2 summers ago. So a lot of that stuff's getting updated. We just didn't have a social media person. I've done a lot of changes now. My daughter's 22, so we brought her in last weekend. She doesn't work for us really. She just went in and said, delete. She looked at it, she was laughing. I mean, we have pictures in there that are old, so the new brewery pictures aren't even on there yet, so there's a lot of things that are going to be updated between now and probably the middle of March. So, but if you're interested, it's ParadoxBrewery.com, because there is Paradox Brewing and Paradox Brewing Company. One's in Colorado, one's in Russia. So make sure you're looking up Paradox Brewery, and that's us. Pure Adirondack style beer. And again, if you get a chance to come out, between Memorial Day and forever, that's going to be a blast. We have a real nice setup coming. We're going to have a 14-foot by 50-foot deck that wraps around the brewery, looks outside. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have a big tasting room inside. The camping's next to us. It's actually attached to us. And we're going to have a pavilion. We're going to have a kids area. They're going to be able to play the cornhole games, things like that. I was trying to talk them to Jarts, for any of those Jarts. I got overruled, unfortunately.
They're dangerous.
How far are you from the city?
New York City? Almost 4 hours.
So you're near Lake Placid?
Yeah, Lake Placid is exit 30. We will be at exit 29. So from exit 30, it's about 40 minutes to Lake Placid. So I got down here today about 3.5 hours, and that was from Saratoga.
Yeah, that's fast.
It wasn't bad. I mean, it was not bad. There was one truck that tipped over on one lane. I was in the right lane.
I have been by the racetrack.
All right, so you're not going to hurt my feelings. Well, you might, but how was the Pilsner?
Nice.
Okay, terrific.
Definitely style.
And so this is the Pale Ale. This is the one, 5%, very sessionable, very drinkable. I don't like to tell people what it's supposed to taste like because everyone's got different taste buds. Everyone, oh my God, it tastes like mango, or it tastes like watermelon, it tastes like whatever. This one will not taste as piney as some of the others, I can tell you that much. And then the one after this, the Beaver Bite, I think has a very unique taste for my IPA.
Is this Cascades?
I don't get piney out of
We
it.
have Amarillo, Cascade.
It tastes as fine.
I don't smell any. Do you smell
Cascades
piney?
in pretty much every beer everywhere. We don't use it in all of ours. We don't use it in any of the darks. We don't use it in the overhead of the Southern Hemisphere.
From when I from everything that has
Part of that was cost. We could get our hands on it, and at the time, everything we sold was right back to our ingredients. So,
How much of the line is paid? How much of the line, your line here is paid?
maybe 35%. So we work with 2 brewers on 2 products that they contract brew and cans for us. So they contract through our Pilsner, and they contract through our beer like in cans. Our recipe, our ingredients, we ship everything down to them, and then they can ship it back up to us. We don't make a ton that way, so I can't wait till the new brewery's open. We have a double candy line that's going in. But right now, we don't have the space. What the cans we do up there at the Southern Hemisphere in the overbite, we literally shut the brewery down for half a day, slide the canning line in, ratchet it up, run a few test runs, because otherwise the cans go flying all over. It's working. And then we run it for 2 days, take it apart and put it back. It's a royal pain. So, in a couple of months, we're not doing that anymore. It's going to be terrific for them. Anybody who's heard about contract brewing, Two Roads does a great job, but it still just takes $10 minimally off your revenue, just like it does on contract. And then you have shipping, then you have a couple other things. So we will make money finally on our cans once we're no longer contract brewing. But as far as the partners, Two Roads is that phenomenal.
They started as a contract right now before they became.
They do a great job. They contract brew for Single Cup. They do some losses. So
They probably contracted most people.
That was their huge amount of money.
Yeah.
That giant brew. How much of it? Do you know how much their production? Sorry, wrong question. How much of their production is their production now?
I have no idea. I'm friends with actually one of the Two Roads reps, but it certainly isn't half that.
Maybe I'll try one.
Because Lawson, Sip the Sunshine alone is probably 20 or 25% of their beer.
They have a 60 barrel or?
I haven't been to theirs. Lawson's is the same as what we have coming in, and that's 33 hectoliters or whatever they call it. So it's. And those are. I look at it. Right, my world, we have 4 big shiny tanks. That's what I know. So, and I know how much beer they can make. That's about it. All right, so you guys, this is the pale. What did you think of the pale ale?
Yeah.
And again, it was literally made for the concert venue, and it took off. And part of the reason is Kevin, part of the reason is what Serene did with it, and then we had some breweries, we had some restaurants and bars around Saratoga. People came in after having it at the concert, and they were like, hey, where do I get that? Where do I get that? So we had to continue to make it, and it's been a real nice success for us. It's not quite as expensive to make, so we sell it for a little bit less. But it hit their price point that they need to hit. And if you know anything about venues, it's ridiculous when you're buying a $13 draft beer. But they have strange numbers that they use.
I was in a Lord's Head last week. I could eat $9 for a Narragansett.
I know. You could buy
$9 for a Narragansett.
If you're in Rhode Island, Woonsocket, you can buy an 18-pack for $9.
That's a good bite. It was rough. I hurt a little bit. I was too proud to send it back. Like, I'll drink it, but you can buy $12.
For Narragansett? How much was it?
$9.
Where?
Lower East Side.
We sell for 16-ounce pour.
Some people have 275 cans of can ice, and they're making money. So it tells you. Wow. But
You're making money out of $3.
it costs them 88 cents. You know. So yes.
You gotta have a favorite.
Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah?
Right, yeah. I mean, literally, I grew up drinking yellow beer. I drank Jenny Light, I drank that Blue Light. Sierra Nevada was my introduction to anything that wasn't yellow. And I fell in love with Anniversary, and then Celebration. And then they came out with Torpedo, and I was all over Torpedo because it didn't taste like that content. And I liked Beaver Bite for about a day and a half. And I couldn't find my code or my keys. I stopped drinking the Bigfoot. Couldn't drink any more Bigfoot. Yeah, that's 13.2 or whatever it was. That was dead. And so then I went back to the regular beers because I'm too old to be running about where I am. So, but my favorite now is Southern Hemisphere by a mile. And it's just, I drank pale ale all summer. Pale ale was my golf beer. I convinced the guys we're going to can it this summer, so we're getting pale ale cans. Again, we didn't really have. You take the Pilsner on the golf course. My friends weren't huge fans of the Pilsner when they were drinking the other stuff, but I got them drinking pale, and they love it. So we're going to put pale in cans. It has a little bit more, in my world, of beer flavor, as opposed to the Pilsner, which to me is really crisp and really European. We're going to have a lager. So we have Get Off My Lawn lager coming out. So it's because of guys like me, the older guys, that they want a regular lager beer. It's going to be out 4.2 or 4.4, and that'll be canned as well this summer. So.
Is it a 12 ounce, 16 ounce?
We're doing all 16s. The equipment we have can be 12, 16, or 19 twos. We're going to stay with all 16s until somebody demand-wise wants us to do differently. A lot of the venues are going to 19.2, the stadiums are going on. And you know, if you're in a package store, 19.2s, you can find like 10 of them now as opposed to 1 or 2.
Wow.
So 19.2 may be the way to go. It's only 3 more ounces of beer, and they charge $4 more for it. So they're like, hey, we'll do this.
That will. It just gets warmer, you know, unless you pound it.
Yeah.
I know. I know the theory.
The stadium ports have no head. They're like,
Well, and sometimes you're getting, like a lot of the stadiums don't have a real good system. They're sort of not going to spend money on alcohol. They're just going to worry about, oh, it's a 70-foot drop. Oh, well. You know, first couple beers might be more deal. Except for Jerry Jones. Like Legends Hospitality, you can't believe the amount of money he spent at Yankee Stadium, the amount of money he spent in Dallas to make sure that they had cold beer. And it's Miller. He wanted cold beer. He wanted, you know, the guy in Atlanta, Arthur Blank, he's selling $5 drafts. He's no one's even close to him. You can get a beer and a hot dog for $9 in Atlanta. It's just some guys have different ways of doing things. That's how he's doing it.
Nice.
It might cost you 30% apart. Go inside and have some food. Is this the third one? Yes. All right, so Beaver Bite, this is our flagship. This is more than 50% of our beer. In cans, we've done, last year alone, we did about 10,000 cases. And it's, Two Roads does our cans for us. It is very easy to drink. It's typical New England IPA, 6%. May not be as juicy as a juice bomb. You're not going to get that orange or that mango, but you are going to get a fruity flavor. There's not as much pine to it as there are some other IPAs. So, any questions about anything else?
you guys have a tap room at the brewery?
We have a small tap room at the current brewery, and we have an outside tent pretty much all spring and summer. We're going to have a tent and a pavilion at the new place. The tap room will probably finish sometime over the summer. And we're not serving food, but we do have food trucks Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They come in, they rotate. So there's enough variety there. We're also going to have free Wi-Fi because of the campground. We're going to have Danishes and whatever. People are going to come up and be able to use the Wi-Fi. We want it to be a place where they can come in, relax, and utilize it, and then want to come back that night until 9 or 10 o'clock when they close, and then we send them home with a 4-pack out the back door.
What's the name of it?
You stumbled a few times.
They literally could.
What's the name of that campground? Is it like something Top of the Dog or some shit like that?
It's going to be, it's through New York State Campgrounds, New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. It's brand new, so they're not even like online yet to have reservations. But they are going to be taking reservations in April for more.
That thing in Lake Placid, that one thing that's like right by, it's called like something of the dog.
It's Tail of the Puppets 4.
That's the That's why I mentioned
It's
it.
horrible.
Yeah, they play a lot of really bad music.
You need a lot of beer.
Until 4 in the morning. Like,
Yeah, it's real shit show.
and there's families across the street. It just doesn't work. It's
It's
unbelievable.
real shit show.
What is it?
Tail of the Puppet.
Yes, been there, done that.
They have lobster roll and all this other stuff. It's in the middle, around the middle of nowhere. The cabins, like, I could reach your cabin from my cabin by just standing next to it, and it's loud. Mountain bikers. I mean, I love the atmosphere until 10 o'clock when I want to go home, and they can deal with the next 6 hours by themselves.
That's why I mentioned I wasn't sure what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's no. This, like New York State, they're pretty. You know, 1 case in per adult and stuff like that. So we're gonna have a lot of people walking up to our really take home 4-pack.
If you wanted to like check out the campground, you can go to your website.
Not yet. You will be able to. We'll have a link to that. We will have a link to that. But right now, their website is kind of non-existent. You know, there's pictures and stuff up there. You can't click on anything and go anywhere. What you're getting now is a Black Fly Porter. As I mentioned, we have what we call our off-trail series. So once a month, the brewers kind of take their turns making something. We've had a Brut IPA, we've had a couple Saisons, we've had Red Pale Ale. We've had a number of kind of different beers come through there. We used 130 pounds of mango puree on a beer we did a couple of months ago. So it's it's kind of their time to have some fun. In the new brewery, we're going to have a 7-barrel fun tank. So they're going to be able to do whatever they want. In the new brewery, just make some things. And we'll sell them there in different lines. But this is one that went from the off-trail lineup 2 years ago, had a nice reception, and then we came back and put it in the full-time lineup for the fall. So it's January, February, March. It will disappear. Little chocolate, little malt. I'm not sure if you're going to like coffee tones. I'm getting
Off your chocolate.
I don't drink coffee. I mean, I can smell it, but I definitely taste it.
I would drink this all summer. I just said the same thing.
Literally, I heard it.
All right, so porters and stouts have such a misnomer that they are good December through March. So Black Flag Porter is not the one we're going to carry the whole time, but we are going to carry a stout that's similar. It's obviously we're going after Guinness. It'll be similar. It'll be light. It will be lower in calories than a lot of people realize. Like people grab a dark beer, their first thought is milkshake. They're usually light.
This does taste like a milkshake though. I can just drink this at 2 a.m. around a campfire. Oh, yeah. Delicious. And we absolutely shit. What are we doing? What are you doing? Yeah, the truck.
So yeah, please guys, come on up. Check our website out. Let them know that you guys met me here, and I'll be up there every Friday and probably most Saturdays. I literally have bunk beds being put in, so I live about an hour from the brewery, so I'm not worried about getting home on any Friday nights.
So everything, you're new to market? You're new to market down here? Like, it's kind of
2 years almost.
almost 2 years, yeah.
So it's not fair to say we launched full time because I can't always get them enough beer. We just did a meeting 2 weeks ago, and I was talking with their sales reps, and we're probably going to do a relaunch in April, where we sit down and talk about what they want to carry, how much they want to bring in, especially now that there's other states involved, and it's not, well, I can get you 8 of this and 4 of that, and that would be what you want. So once I get to the point where you want, you can fill out a checklist, then I can get what you really want. Which one do you have? Pass this around a little bit. This one is the PDH Galaxy. Okay. So this is our weather series. So the can itself has clouds and a blue sky on it. Another one that comes out once a month. Weather comes out in cans and changes like the weather. So it's usually a hoppy IPA or an IPA of some type. This one has Galaxy Amarillo and it's a New England IPA.
Double dry house.
No, I don't remember what this one was. I want to say
Let me take a picture.
What I missed?
they're all between 6 and 7% usually.
What's it?
So this is the one we did. We did the Brute IPA. We did the Mango IPA, and now this one has the Double Dry Hop Galaxy and Amarillo.
Those are available. Rep Island.
Actually, I think that's
I said, I nearly burned my hand.
Thank you.
I said, I nearly burned my hand. The sink was misleading. I turned on what I thought was the what I thought was the cold water was the hot water. So I put my hand in it.
Answer this question. I kind of want to see if you're paying attention. Thanks,
Yeah.
So, I got some prizes here. I got some hats, I got some t-shirts. I got 2 t-shirts that only a couple of you can win, just by size. Wow. I'm not going to fit in. Watch my fit in a couple of them. So,
Take a lid.
All right, so the first one. Are you ready?
Yes.
How many years we've been open?
4.
Not sure who it was. It was someone back here. All right. What's my favorite beer?
Pilsner.
No.
Southern region. Southern hemisphere.
Maybe she should get a shirt. It seems like she's probably more.
All right. For anybody who wears,
She's got beard. Give me this shirt.
this will fit on my cap.
Or has a child.
You can fit this in. All right, this is really hard to do to get Doug to put that shirt on. These are about 4 guys. Really strong guys. All right, this is an important question. Who would fit in this?
My grandson.
Yeah, one over there. One over here. You got something? All right. Now, loaded question. Who's the oldest person here?
What?
Actually, I don't know.
61.
I'm 19.
I'm 47.
Well, I'm 55. I got beat, so. All right. Who would look now, this is a vote. You guys need to point. Who would look the best in this? I would.
All right.
This is gotta be
I was gonna say Paul.
Oh, he does look good at that.
Brooklyn Brewery hat.
All right. Who liked all 4 beers?
Yeah.
You got it.
Awesome. That's exactly.
Thank you.
All right. I do have a few more glasses left. So if anyone didn't get anything, they want to grab an extra glass, they're welcome to. And that's all the time. Oh, okay. Can I get you to change hats? There are more here, guys. Didn't you already win something? But guys, all right. So what you have to is Hop and Rice.
I really
It's a beer I've only had once. It sold out very, very quickly for us. We had a guy that named Quattro because he was the 4th brewmaster hired. So,
I have to adjust it. Thank you.
and again, I've only had it once, I think, before this. So I can't really say much about it other than it sold very quickly.
It's a hoppy light beer.
Thank you.
That's different. Not in my car. This is what started this. This one beer is what started tonight.
I don't know what it is, but now you gotta have
I was going to like this. I was trying to get out of my I'm doing this one time. Behind me is a cop. He's looking at me like I said, can you help me out of the street? That was today. So,
Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate coming down.
thank you, Dave. Thank you, Doug.
Enjoy.
Always awesome. I feel like the last few months, last year, we've been getting some stellar stuff. So very,
They only have 5
very happy with everybody.
Last
Coming down,
month
supporting the
there
club.
was 8 or 10.
And again, I say this every month. Thanks to Mike. Mike's kicking ass here at Richmond Republic. So busy. I know. He's so busy. Look at him. He doesn't even have a suit. He dresses nicely. Yeah. If you guys haven't been down to Richmond Republic yet, please go. We did a thing there the other night. Nick took the train down. How easy was that train? Pretty good, right? It was
100%.
It was awesome. It was awesome. Right around the corner from the train. Super easy to get to.
About 15 minutes.
Yeah, dude. It's
Not even that. It's like,
Get on the train, you get to Meltonville, you walk around the train.
yeah.
Fantastic.
And there's a post.
Head in the notes, if you ever in Republic, please go. They can get a little douched up after a certain time.
It's normal.
I always ask Mike, I always get Mike, it's like, is this place for me yet right now? No, it's like coming for you right now. So there's like a time limit. I feel like there's like, you get there before 7. About after 7, it starts to kind of get filled up with people you probably don't want to hang out with.
Okay, pretty fucking beard now.
If you've done it.
I'm glad you don't know.
I read an article the other day about craft beer. And this guy in Australia is very successful in craft beer. Chartered the airplane. He wanted to have the first craft flight. He's now going into hotels where there's going to be singers. Not only the
That's the Brewdog Hotel.
I think it is.